For Salford's second season in the Premier League, we have £40 million to spend in our transfer special. The only problem is, we are still expected to finish rock bottom, and no one really wants to come to us because we have a lower reputation than numerous championship clubs. It's going to be a lot of young players again this year. Good thing I like wonderkids. Hey guys, and welcome back to the 9th episode of the FM21 Salford in the Prem Save, where today we are having our transfer special. It is our second transfer special in the Premier League, and I'm hoping that it will go just as successfully as ours did last year. To be honest, while it was going on last season, I didn't think it was the best transfer window we've ever had, but looking back on it, we made some very good signings, some intelligent purchases, and didn't absolutely break the bank. I think the only player that we can look back on and say maybe wasn't the best signing of all time, Ethan Galbraith. And this man is now worth £15.75 million and wanted by Torino. So if we can sell him for a profit, I'm certainly not going to complain about that signing. But we move on from those. We focus on what's going on now. And what is going on now is that we have a hefty budget. And that budget has already had a wee bit chipped into it. I have made some signings already. But just before we jump into them, make sure that you have liked this video, subscribe to the channel for the daily Football Manager 2021 content coming on this channel with this series, and let's jump into who I've already signed. It has been a pretty good transfer window so far, a bit of a quiet one as we are still quite far into it, but we're going to start off with our sales as I always do, because you know you got to keep them going, you got to keep them guessing, you want to try and get the good stuff in later so that people are watching for longer. Duffy has been sold, £8.5 million, a very good profit there. We got him for £4 million, didn't score a single goal in the Premier League, and we've sold him for over double what we bought him for. Brilliant managerial work by myself. We've also gotten rid of Leighton Clarkson. I'm actually emotional to say goodbye to this man because he got us into the Premier League, and I think that's something that you're never going to forget. However, I'm also never going to forget the fact that I got him for £325,000, and I have sold him for $5.25 million. So you thought the profit with Duffy was good. Yeah, think again. Clarkson, definitely the better of the two. Moving on to the signings that we have made. We have brought in Kim Campbell on an absolute deal of £4.6 million. He came in on loan, did pretty well on loan, and now he is a permanent player. I mainly just bought him in because I know that I can sell him for at least double what I got him for right now, but I'm definitely going to try and use him, try and build him up, because he has the potential to be a pretty good player in the Premier League in the future. So while we've got him, we might as well give him a track. We've also a crack as well, I was trying to say. We've also brought in a couple of youngsters, no one too insanely promising, but definitely some good players that could go far enough to be maybe a rotation player in the future. We've also brought in Curtis Mulgrew, who was a very, very cheap signing of £1.4 million, and he has some great defensive stats. He's going to be a rotation player. Even though I have given him a regular starter role, he's definitely going to be more of a rotation player who I'm hoping will get better in the future. But I think it's just a bit of a bargain, and you can't really say no to bargains. You know how much I love bargains. And look what happens to the bargains. I then sell them on for an absolute brilliant profit. And our final signing that we have made, you know what? I'm going to put it onto the normal screen because it has just gone over the line. Felipe, and that's too hard. There's an X in there, and a G, and an I, and a U. That's like four things that just don't go together. I'm not a fan. Definitely, it's just Felipe for him. He's an Argentinian wonderkid in my opinion. He's not a wonderkid according to the media description, but he comes in from the Spanish club Mallorca. Okay, that's not even that hard, but I'm just terrible at pronouncing stuff, as you all know. He's played in the first division and in the second division after they got relegated, and he's done a pretty good job in those divisions. And I think he's going to be the best player for us in a lot of positions this year. Right wing, right mid, cam. And I'm actually going to try and train him as a central midfielder, as a Mazzala, because I think he has got the exact stats that you need for a really good Mazzala. And taking a look at our squad, yeah, the main position that we need to improve is this midfield trio. Right, currently, wingers just aren't that bad. I mean, Ichil is definitely playing out on the wing. Gassam is staying up top, but Ichil played pretty well last year, so did Voigt. And to be honest, based off what happened at the end of last season, I'm pretty keen to continue with this diamond shape. It worked well last year. I'm assuming it's going to work well again this year. And as long as we keep scoring goals, as long as we keep winning games, I'm pretty keen to continue with it. So training him as a midfielder, I think, is an intelligent decision. But of course, having him as the option as a winger in the future, if we do end up switching back to the normal formation that we have been using previously, I think it's good to have that option. I think he's an intelligent signing. He breaks the record transfer speed. Why can't I speak at the moment? Spree? That's just not... It's not the correct word for this moment. He breaks the transfer record fee with a price tag of £14 million, but I do think it is definitely money well spent. Someone that's 5-star potential in the future. I think we will definitely have some Premier League clubs knocking on the door pretty soon, as he is going to be getting better and better. Well, I'm pretty hopeful that he's going to be getting better and better, but we're definitely not done with the signings. We are keeping an eye on lots of players, people on the shortlist, people that I'm hoping will come up in the future. To be completely honest, it hasn't been the most amazing scouting performance I've ever seen in my life. But that is now, in my opinion, because we are getting to the point where we're kind of maxed out for the reputation that we do have. There's not a lot of players that actually want to come to our club because we do only have a 3-star reputation, as you can see here. And as I said in the intro, there's championship clubs that have a high reputation. So people are actually more likely to go to Wolves down in the Championship than Salford City up in the Premier League because of our reputation. So I'm hoping it goes up soon, and I'm sure it can't go down because we definitely don't have the same traction as other clubs. There's a lot of people that we would love to be taking a look at on the transfer list, but unfortunately they have no interest in signing for us. He would be such a good signing. All of these players would be such good signings. I shouldn't even be teasing myself with this, but oh my goodness. Oh, João Pedro. Imagine signing João Pedro. Yeah, so it's definitely a situation where we're going to have to try to make the best of the bad situation. Yuri Tielemans for £15 million. Oh, no, I've got to stop. This is absolutely torturous. Absolutely. But key positions that I'm trying to improve are these two midfielders. Maybe a new striker cam sort of area. Gassama definitely isn't going anywhere, but to have a great partner next to him. I mean, Voigt wasn't bad last season, but he's not quite up to the same standard. So to have two people just as good as each other up top would be brilliant. I think we definitely need a new right back now, as Patty is starting to look not as good as he was last year. I mean, he didn't play bad. His average rating was 6.85, so it's not terrible, but he's definitely not going to get a whole lot better in the future. Boyd as well, pretty solid. I don't think I'm going to need to replace him, but definitely want to keep an eye on. The centre-backs are alright. If a new centre-back does pop up, I will definitely not say no to it, but I think the only positions that are really safe are the man up and striker, Gassama, the CDM, I still don't know how to say it. You know who I'm talking about, and of course Vasquez in between the sticks. He is an absolutely world-class goalkeeper at this point in time. He is currently operating at a Premier League level, and in my opinion, for this club, that is world class. And he conceded 50 last year. Look at the rating, 7.06. There's nothing wrong with him. It's the 1st of July, and if you play Football Manager, you'll know this is often the most busy day of the year, and that is because we have brought in brand new players who've just had their contracts expire, with our first signing being Stefan Dimitric. That's close. Give me that. Serbian right winger who we couldn't get a work permit for, but he's a very good potential future player, and I think it won't take long for him to start getting some more caps for the Serbian side and getting those work permit points. So I'm more than happy to introduce him into the squad and loan him out for a season. We've also brought in this youngster right back from France. I think he looks like a brilliant player for the future, more defensive minded than I would maybe have liked, but he's got experience at the top division in the League One in France. Of course, that's in France. And we have also managed to sell Sola, who's a player that we just didn't need anymore. He was a great servant for us in the Championship and played one game for us last season in the Premier League. Still made £900,000 on him, so I don't mind that at all. Also, because it is the 1st of July, that means that all the players from loan have come back. So we have decided what to do with them. Either put them out on loan, offered them to clubs, done every single one of those players. I've also gone through, this is my favourite method to do, so I go suggest signings from the thingamajiggy, the director of football, got there eventually, and then just ask for him to suggest, and then you go through and offer trials to the one that you want. And it's a beautiful system, because it means that we have a lot of trial lists coming in the next few days. And then you also get a bunch of scout reports because the scouts also want to tell you about people. So it's always a busy day. It's a fun day. I enjoy it, and see what happens when we press continue once. 39 inbox messages with 42 transfer offers. It's going to be some fun stuff off camera. That's not me being sarcastic. This is genuinely like the most fun in my life. I'm a bland man. Look, I get job interviews all the time in the save. I'm doing amazing with Salford. This is definitely a high point though. Manchester United have offered me a job interview. They finished 5th place last year. I can understand why they want new management. And I'm loving Salford. I'm swiftly declining, and we have done some business since the last time, so this is a good wee segue. I can't believe that Manchester United want me. I mean, it feels like a natural progression for a Salford manager to then move on to Manchester United. But with the squad that we're building, why would anyone want to leave? We have brought in some players. We have sold some players. We actually haven't sold any players. We're in the process of selling players, but we have made a big signing, and it is a man by the name of Ojeda, and he is a wonder kid from Argentina. Oh my gosh, we're going over to the South American region. I forgot what continent Argentina was in for a minute there, but I remembered, and he's definitely going to be playing as a Mazzala, and that is kind of the shape that we're looking at now at the moment. It is a very strong side with wonder kid here, 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 the kind of wonder kid here, wonder kid here. Like it's pretty insane how good our youth is at the moment. All of our players are absolutely youngsters, and I'm hoping to bring in some even better faces here and there to just round the team off, make it that much better. The defense is probably needing some work now, especially Paddy's position. He wasn't amazing last year, and I'm starting to lose faith. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely one of the positions that we need to improve on. Maybe not this midfield so much anymore. It's looking better. Whew. I managed to get through all of that, and now, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to a player. And we have to say goodbye to them because I've already confirmed the deal. Ethan Galbraith. I'm not actually that sad to see him go. He played pretty terribly for us, let's all be honest here. He got a 6.74, 1 goal and 1 player of the match performance in 28 Premier League appearances. I'm content with making just under £10 million on him. I think that's a brilliant bit of business. We've also managed to bring in some players and sell some more players since last time. It has been quite some time. It's the 18th of July now, so we've had a whole 17 days and we have completed all of these transfers, and I'm going to have to go through them kind of slowly. The first one we made was Byron, there we go, we got there eventually. Byron Bryan has left for £675,000. Hino has gone for £7 million, which I think is a brilliant bit of business. Doubled what we bought him for, and we didn't even like him very much. We've also gone rid of this young goalkeeper. Lots of youngsters out on loan, including the man that we brought in the last clip that I gave you guys. So hopefully he'll be getting his work permit sometime soon. We've also managed to get rid of Juan Ola. Got there eventually once again. He makes a pretty tidy profit of it's 2.7 million pounds. So there's a common theme going on here. Lots of money making moves, and I'm honestly a tactical genius, just a general genius, and clearly a financial genius. Also gotten all these players out on loan as well. No one, they're all pretty good players, but no one like too noteworthy. No one I think I've touched on too much. But the signing over here, I'm sure you've all had a wee peek at it, but he's a regen. You have no idea who he is, so there's no point even, murmuring, talking about it. Who's watching this with their friends? Who's murmuring to themselves? Okay, let's move on. We've made the signing. Ojeda comes into the squad for only £10 million from River Plate, and he is a wonder kid. And he's actually considered a wonder kid. I know. I didn't think I'd see the day that I actually brought in a wonder kid, but he is an amazing central attacking midfielder. I'm pretty sure he is going to be able to slot into that cam or central midfield role, and I like the versatility he brings. I like the potential that he brings. I like the not too big price tag that he brings as well. Some great stats. He's going to partner up very well. Well, I'm hoping he's going to partner up very well with that other cam dude that we brought in. I can't remember his name now. Where is he? I have no idea. There we go. That's such a hard name to say. Felipe. They've got an Argentinian link there, and I'm sure they will be able to get some goals this season. Well, as long as one of them's all right, I'll consider that a success. As long as we sell the other one for like double what we bought them for. Well, it hasn't been long since I last stopped recording, but we have got an update, and it is an important one. We have signed a player for £20 million, a new record transfer fee, and he comes in from Celta Vigo, and he is a great centre-back. He's a wonder kid, not actually by media description, but trust me, he's going to turn into one sometime in the future. I did think his star rating would be a little bit higher, but I'm actually not too worried, because in my opinion, those stats tell the entire story. He is just as good as the rest of our centre-backs, if not better, with much more potential than any of them. If you compare him to the likes of Fish, he's got much better defending and physicals, slightly worse aerial-wise and slightly slower, but let's all be honest here. I think he is going to be a starter for us. Coming in from Spain, we're loving the Spanish wonder kids at the moment, and I think he's going to be a great player for us this year, and I'm hoping a great player for us sometime longer in the future. 21 years of age, so quite young as well. We've also tried to bring in Dane Scarlett, but I've actually delayed this deal because I'm not sure if I want to get it over the line. I've been saying I wanted a new striker for this transfer window, as currently our best strikers are Perry, Gassama, maybe even Voigt playing up there. We've got a lot of options, but no one absolutely insane. No two out-and-out strikers. Like, Gassama's obviously going to start, but when he's not there, we don't have the perfect option up top. So I'm trying to bring in another one, and I've actually delayed this deal because we have another deal in the works, and I really would like to get David... that's not that hard to say. Garza. There we go. That really wasn't that hard. I don't know why I find it so difficult to pronounce these names, but he is a 4-star, definitely 5-star potential wonder kid in my opinion. 21 years of age, can play complete forward. I think he will be an amazing signing for only £9 million. No, £8 million, even less. But unfortunately, Aston Villa have come in with a bid, and again we go back to what is going on with our reputation, and I think that he's going to take the deal with Aston Villa if that bid is accepted. I'm assuming it will be. So I'm actually going to continue bidding up this wage, because I think it's the only way we're going to have any chance of getting him. Going to have to simulate forward. We've got 11 days, now 10, until the first day of the season. I'm going to keep making the deals. Hopefully by then I will have signed a brand new striker that will be competing for the top spot with Gassama. And I'll see you on the match day. I mean, we're not going to play the match, but I feel like I should get the rest of the transfers wrapped up and then do a wee summary at the end. Ooh, it's so professional. Summing it up. As promised, this is the final transfer update because, I'm respectful of my viewers. I understand that you guys are getting quite annoyed of me after talking for this long. So I'll give you a break. Here you go. This is the last time that we are going to be talking before we jump into our first game of the season. And we have made some transfers since last time out, starting with the sales. I don't actually remember going over half of these sales. So come to think of it, I think there's more sales to go over than I thought there were. We definitely covered Galbraith, but we also got rid of Nati. He's gone for £725,000. We actually made a loss on him, and I think that is historic. I think it's the first player we've sold for a loss. I know, there's a pretty insane record, especially when it's only £25,000 of a loss. We've also managed to sell Bobby Carroll, who we made a very nice profit of £8.25 million on, because, we signed him for a free. We've also gotten rid of this dude. We brought him in for only a free. I thought we paid for him. It was free. He comes out for £4.5 million. I just don't think he quite was ever going to reach the potential that we needed him to, but he was still a very good player who actually never made an appearance for our club. So he was a good player for other teams while he was on loan, like a very high average rating, so it's a good signing. We have also brought in a player over here, and it is a player by the name of Stankovic. I can say that. That was brilliant, right off the tongue. He is an either-footed player who is a hard-working midfielder who has plenty of potential for the future, and comes in for only £1.3 million. I know, I'm a genius. That is an absolute bargain for a player of his quality, and I'm hoping that he is going to rise up the ranks and be one of our best players in midfield. But for now, I think we're either going to loan him out or just use him as a rotation player this year. So we've got options. We're also in the works of getting some other deals done, and I'm not going to show you what they are because that's for next episode. I want you to come back, but I can tell you that we have a wonder kid who is not a wonder kid that's a regen, a genuine wonder kid that you guys actually know who he is. He's a bit older now, but he's still kind of a wonder kid, and a very experienced Premier League player from England. So those are two signings that you can hopefully see in the next episode that will hopefully go across the line. But unfortunately, I would like to point out that, you know, I really teased him before. Yeah, we didn't end up getting Gaza. He went to Aston Villa, and he's gone for £5.5 million, which may I add is less than what I offered, and he's now worth 21.5. Would have really liked him. He's got 11 finishing. That was the only thing I was worried about, is finishing. Good thing we've got a striker in the works right now. Well, as long as it gets across the line. Who knows? Maybe Aston Villa will want to sign him too. That is where we're going to end this episode, though. We've done pretty well in this transfer window, if I do say so myself. Only signing £46 million worth of players and getting rid of £44 million worth of players, with a grand total of transfer budget left of £30 million. That is still plenty of money. I can do a lot of that. We haven't really spent much altogether if you base it off how much we've brought in as well. So I'm a financial genius, and tomorrow we will be finding out if I am also a tactical genius with our first game in the Premier League season against Brighton. But that is where we're going to end this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you have subscribed, like this video. What did I say, like 10 likes? Did I say that? I don't think I did. It was ages ago when I started. It's been like 3 days, this process of recording this video, because I've pre-recorded so much previously. I've just chilled out, not worried about recording too much, although I am very much enjoying this series and very much enjoying recording, and I hope you guys are too. So like that video if you are enjoying it, and I will see you all later.